Listen, I don't know who Rylie and Katherine think they feeling like. Losers. I could be in that house. Who the fuck are y'all talking to? But if y'all are new here, hit subscribe. We on the road to 15K. Join the party. Join the crew. Thumbs up the video. Drop the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. Also, if you haven't already watched, I did episodes 9, 11, and 10 this morning. So go watch. I am caught up. So go watch those if you haven't already. But yeah, let's get into this. We had some interesting stuff going on this episode. My blood pressure got a little high at one point because if I was in that house, Rylie would need to run me that. Katherine would have to get cussed out. Shout out to Rachel for doing what she needed to do. But yeah, let's go. All right, so we get back to where we left off, which is Adrian being evicted. Lauren didn't want him going home on her HOH, and she's crying in her DR. I'm like, if you didn't want him to go home, why would you put him up? But Kelly then feels that she sent her best friend home, and she states that she would have thrown the blockbuster if she knew that he had the votes. Send her home. This is the shit I be talking about. Every time she says stupid shit like this, I'm like, she needs to go home. Her consistently putting herself on the block, volunteering to go up, crying and bitching about being up there like she didn't volunteer herself up there, then winning the blockbuster like she got thrown up there against her will, and then saying shit like this. The sloppy gameplay, like, yes, she can win competitions, and yes, she's an underdog consistently. I mean, but can she really be called an underdog when she puts herself up every time? But no, I'm not a fan of her. I'm not a fan of Kelly. I'm not a fan of... Y'all know who I'm not a fan of, but we'll get to it. But Zach and Vince, they both wanted to keep Adrian, according to Zach, as a shield, but they just didn't know if they had the vote, so they ended up asking Ava earlier before the eviction, and they essentially went with the majority because it would have came down to a 6-6 tie vote, which would have had Lauren breaking the tie, and of course, Zach, being obsessed with Lauren, he didn't want to put her in that position. We'll get to that in a minute. But Vince wants to play the middle as he has been trying to do all season. But Vince and Kelly, they're in the back room talking. And he's like, are you mad at me? She's like, I feel betrayed. Like she said, how he flipped on Adrian makes me think that he could flip on me, which is true. But you also be flipping on him too. Like, let's keep it real. But she told him she didn't want to talk to him. So he walks out. Morgan and Jimmy, they're in the bathroom comforting Mickey, who's in the bathroom, because she was close to Adrian too, but she wasn't going to send Will home, as you should. But Morgan says despite her like rockiness with the triple threat, which is her, Jimmy, and Mickey, she was sticking with them, and she stuck with them for this vote. Ashley and Rachel, they come in and join them as well, and they start discussing the votes. And Morgan's like, Vince and Zach voted to keep Will. Like, I know they did. They did. But they try to figure out how Kelly is still there. Yeah, she needs to go. She needs to go. She's a comp B. She's winning these comps, even though the comps that she's winning are easy in my opinion, but she's winning them. But Keanu, he's upset that Zach and Vince were not on their side with the vote. Like, they didn't keep Adrian. Now he don't know who to trust. Like, I don't know why you felt like you could trust them. Like, you've been basically public enemy number one. If I've been public enemy number one since I walked in that house, I'm not trusting anybody for real. Like, I'm going to try and make alliances, but I don't fully trust you. But Zach, he's telling Rylie that he voted Adrian out because people were stating that it was going to be a tie vote. And he said that he would refuse to let Lauren make that decision that would affect her because essentially she's the only person in that house that he cares about. I said, why would you say that? Like, why would you say that? Because you're talking to somebody else who's also in the house and he's not Lauren. So that means you don't care about me and my game. So I'm getting her out. That's what I would have done if I was Rylie, but we'll get to it. I can't stand him though. We'll get to it. But Rylie then states that he doesn't trust Zach 100% and he can't stand people getting manipulated by other people. But Keanu states that he respects Zach for pretty much stating that out loud, that he voted the way he voted. But he gets in his confessionals and states that it's a cop-out. Like, him stating that it's a cop-out. It's not really Zach. I mean, Zach definitely made that decision. You can tell Zach makes those decisions that he makes in the house thinking about Lauren, too, because he has a crush on her. Like, that's just really what it is. But they go in the storage room. Vince is in there because Keanu, when I say they, I'm talking about Keanu and Vince. He's planning on talking to Vince because, obviously, Zach voted against the vote that he wanted, and Vince did as well, so he wants to pick his brain. And Vince is already in there acting, like, trying, because he knows Keanu ain't happy about the vote. But Keanu says, like, I mean, I have every reason to second guess you now. But he states, I promise you I'm not going to do that. But he tells us in his confessionals, he ain't really got no other option but to really work with Vince at this point. So he's playing it up in his face. But Vince is now putting on the acting chops, trying to act like he's a pushover. I'm like, I can't believe I'm a pushover now. Shut up, Vince. Shut up. But Vince doesn't want Keanu to turn on him at this point. Obviously, because you don't have any numbers. But like, you have numbers, but you don't have that many, and you need Keanu on your side. But Keanu then states that basically you can make it up to us by winning, at least helping us win HOH. Let's do that. We get Rylie and Katherine in the bathroom. I really wanted to skip over the scene. But he states that he doesn't want to be in here with a bunch of fake ass snakes stating that the girls are leading Vince and Zach and they're falling for it. It's not their fault that they're rallying numbers against you. You're not on their side. They're playing the game. It's not their fault that they're actually running game better than you. If their social game is working in their favor, you can't be mad at them. They're doing what they're there to do. If they build enough social if they build enough alliances to where certain people are coming and branching off of them, where they're connected and they have numbers, that's your own fault. Do the same thing. Try and get those numbers off of them and bring them to you. But you're mad and calling them fake ass snakes. How are they fake ass snakes? Because they have power that you don't. You're just mad because you don't have that power. But Katherine says it makes it easier because there's more people here now that she doesn't like. We don't like you. What are you doing, Katherine, besides sitting around bitching about people and talking shit? Miss Feminist. You don't like all those women over there, but you claim to be a feminist. We're going to get on your ass later on. I can't wait to get to you. But Kelly comes in talking about how Vince didn't vote for Adrian to stay, and she's sick of how the votes are going, basically going in their direction and have been. But Rylie states that Keanu voted for Adrian. He's telling that to Kelly and Katherine. And Kelly was like, I mean, I was questioning it, but he hasn't really lied to me. And Rylie says the same thing. He hasn't lied to me. And Kelly's like, I mean, he gets on my nerves, but he ain't really lied to me, so I don't really doubt him. But they know that it was Vinny and Zach that had voted to evict Adrian. So she then tells him that Vinny and her were final twos, and now it's over, and I got your back, Rylie. Talking to Rylie, because Katherine left. She exposed the final two that she has with Vinny, which I'm assuming that is officially dead. Because for you to tell somebody that, you're basically telling them that it's expendable to you now. You don't really care to go to the end with him. And you're putting in a lot of trust in Rylie, which is crazy to me. Even though I understand why she's doing that, it's sloppy gameplay. Why the fuck are you doing this? Like, because who's to say Riley's going to do something that you don't like, and now you done told him your final two? Like, that, Kelly, she's a sloppy game player. She just got a lot of good luck. A lot of good luck. But, she tells him that, and she then states, like, I'm winning. She tells us this in her DR, like, I'm winning HOH. I'm not volunteering anymore because they some hating ass bitches. I said, you put yourself on the... Shut up, Kelly. Like, they need to shut up. When we get to the HOH competition, in this carnival theme, it's called Killer Carnival. Each round, there are going to be new rules, and one player is going to get killed off each round. The sole player at the end, you want to be that person because you're going to win the HOH. So they play it in rounds. Rylie wants to target Mickey and Ashley. I said, oh, I wonder why. But they divide up into 3 groups of 4 for the first round to battle against each other. In 60 seconds, they have this little, y'all know the little balance beam thing where you're going to hit the buzzer. That's basically what they have, but it's in 4 directions. And y'all, if y'all see all this blinking and shit, y'all just got to thug with it. Thug with it until I get all these recaps done. I'm going to try and figure it out later on in the week whenever I don't have something to do. But it's this Ecamm. It's not my computer, but it's this Ecamm shit. I don't know what's going on with it. But we'll figure it out. But, yeah, he wants Rylie and Ashley, obviously. But they divide up into those groups, and Kelly was left out. Even her own alliance did not want her in their group, which Ashley clocked it. She was like, she actually wins competitions, and y'all don't want her to be on. Right, because like she would be a benefit to you to win the round. But Kelly automatically advances to round 2 because she wasn't selected. So the teams, they have to select a member to battle out, and they all have to sit. Wait, they have to hit all 4 buttons. There's buttons at the end of these balance beams. They have to hit all 4 buttons, get back, and hit that final buzzer. And the person that finishes it quicker, I'm reading these instructions, y'all. The person that finishes it the fastest advances their team to the next round, and then they get to eliminate 2 players from the losing teams. Okay, got it. Boom. Zach, Morgan, and Keanu, they represent their team. So these are the ones that are going to be competing in the first round. Zach goes out first. He finishes in 35.62 seconds. Morgan goes out there and finishes in 23.81 seconds, beating Zach. Keanu gets out there. He doesn't want Ashley, Morgan, Mickey, Will, or Ava to win. So I knew here, if he got the chance to send people home, I knew who he would be selecting from. He finishes almost lost 23 seconds flat because he dove and hit that button. So he wins the first round. And guess who he eliminates? He eliminates Will, Ashley, Morgan, and Mickey. My favorites, literally. But Will is pissed, obviously. And he's like, I know he had that shit locked up because he didn't even hesitate. He said that shit immediately. And he did. But we get to the second round. This was so funny. I love me some Rachel Rylie, boy. This second round, they have to be in teams of 3. 3 teams of 3. Rachel immediately goes sprinting over there to Keanu. And she starts locking him, arm locking him. And she's not stupid because she realizes, okay, he's targeting my friends as he just sent 4 of my allies out. If he wins again, who do you think he's going to send? He's going to send me out. He's going to send me out. So she also attaches herself to him too because it's like, if you win, I'm going to be safe. If we lose together. That's basically what she's thinking. Rachel was running around trying to, because he kept trying to get away from her. She kept sticking herself to him. Rachel is comedy. Anybody, I don't know anybody, y'all don't like Rachel. If you don't like Rachel, she's good TV. Rachel is amazing TV. She always has been. She always has been. But she states that she is not letting him get her and her friends out. So that's why she's doing it. But they finally get to the next round. This round, they have to take turns in a relay style where all of them are actually going and hitting 4 buzzers. One player on each team will go twice because they only have 3. And the fastest team advances, the other 2 will be eliminated. Zach, Jimmy, and Rylie were on the team. They finished in 56.75 seconds. Rachel, Keanu, and Vince, they didn't finish because Vince fell, which fucked up the time. And they got eliminated. Mickey and crew are obviously happy because Keanu did not win. Keanu did not win. And he showed his cards like Mickey said he did. Like, they probably suspected that he would be coming for them, but he made it so apparent now that he was coming for them. So at this point, if they shoot at him, he can't be mad at nobody. But Kelly, Katherine, and Ava, they don't finish in time either, so they're eliminated. So the final 3 is Jimmy, Zach, and Rylie. So the final round, they're going to be working against each other. They go out and do the same thing, have to hit all 4 buttons and come back and hit the button to lock in. And the player that does it the fastest wins the HOH. Zach finishes in a time of 24.75 seconds. Jimmy finished in 24.81 seconds, so he's eliminated. Rylie ass finishes in 17.62 seconds and he wins the HOH. I was pissed. Pissed. But post HOH, Rylie's celebrating. Everybody's in there celebrating. Face value. They're all cheering, even though we know certain people don't want him to win. Me personally, I wouldn't be cheering. Call it bad gameplay, but if I don't like you, you're going to know I don't like you. Like, I don't even care at this point. Put me up because I'm going to be like Kelly. I'm going to be winning all the rounds. But, he feeling himself, obviously, he doesn't want Keanu and Kelly out of the house, obviously. But he states that his HOH, he's going to be running on his rules, and it's going to be his rules this week, and he's going to start a pie. Okay, we'll see. But Rachel thinks that she's in danger, and if it's not going to be her, it's going to be her closest allies. You're right. But Keanu and Rylie, they're in the gym celebrating. Rylie thinks that, Rylie is stating that essentially his potential nominees are going to be Mickey, Ashley, and Morgan. They're on his mind. Keanu is behind that. Keanu states, like, remember, there's a power out here, and I believe it's between Mickey and Ashley. You got the right one. You got one of the right ones in there, and you know who it is, which is wild to me, but we'll get to it. Rylie states that those are the 3 potentials for him because he hasn't talked game to them. He claims it's not personal. I doubt that, but okay. But Jimmy, Vince, and Zach, they're talking to Keanu about who has the powers. Jimmy's throwing it on Ashley. Obviously, he's working with Mickey. And I'm sitting here thinking he don't know either at this point that Mickey had the power, but I can tell that he's trying to get the heat off of Mickey even if she did have it. But Zach, he states to us in his DR, I'm not as close to Keanu as he thinks that I am. Like, I don't want to work with him and never really have, but I want him to keep thinking that I do. But he states that he wants to tell the girls so that they can make a play for it, pretty much that they're suspected of having this power. So he goes and tells the 3 girls that are suspected, which I found interesting considering the fact that he's trying to drive a wedge between Morgan and Mickey. But hey, do what you got to do. But he knows, though, too, that Keanu is probably suspicious of him, as is Rylie, because he didn't vote the way that they did. So I mean, do what you got to do. I mean, at this point, you put yourself on that side, so stay on that side. That's what the numbers are, honestly. But he then states that he tells them that Keanu feels like they're too comfortable in this game, and Mickey is now worried. She's like, at this point, I need to figure out if I need to use his power or not. You should, you should. But Mickey and Morgan, they're talking now. This was funny as well, because every time they're talking, here comes Ashley, and they're talking, trying to figure out what to do with this power, but they finally get time alone to discuss. So Mickey then finishes and goes to talk to Rachel, because she now needs to get a plan to get the heat off of her, because she knows Riley's going to be interrogating, trying to figure out who got this power. And if he gets it right, she's exposed and he still has his power. So she needs to find something to get the scent off of her, have him basically she wants to frame somebody so that he can guess wrong so she can get the power. So she goes to Rachel, perfect person to do it. Like, if you want somebody to literally play it up, she gonna be the win. So she's like, I need your theatrics, I need your acting. And she was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I got the power, I need your help. Rachel is like, I'm all game. She tells her what needs to be done. Rachel's down to do it, and we're going to see what happens. So the HOH interrogation power is activated. They get the alert. It's activated. So Rylie, Katherine, and everybody else, they're all confused. They all head to the living room. Rylie comes in from the DR with the card, pretty much explaining what it is. And he has 3 minutes to start interrogating, and that's what he starts doing. So he's upstairs in the HOH room. Actually, before he gets there, as he's walking up to the HOH room, he starts trying to be aggressive, telling them, if you did it, you can fucking say this and you confess up to this. He's cussing the whole time. Like, you see the bleeps. So I'm like, why are you talking aggressively to grown people? Who the fuck do you think you... Could not be me. Because who the fuck are you talking to? Like, who are you talking to? I understand you concerned, and I can understand you being upset about the fact that you might be losing your HOH. But you ain't talking to me like that. Who are you? You could tell he was trying to pump fear in their heart. Like, somebody's scared of you with your spaced out teeth. Like, please. But he starts doing that, talking about something, I'm not a dumbass, and it's going to get revealed anyway. So if you don't want to fess up to it now, you ain't got to do it, but your ass is grass. It's going to get revealed anyways, but not only that, why would they flat out tell you when you have to literally guess? Why would I tell you before you... I'm not going to make shit easy for you. Get the fuck out of my face. Get out of my face. But he's sitting there talking about something, this is my family time. Like, we can be cool for the rest of the game, or we can keep it like this, but I'm pissed off. You fucked with the wrong one. Ain't nobody scared of you. Ain't nobody scared of you. But he goes upstairs and they start asking, like, is anybody going to fess up? Nobody's saying anything, obviously, like, duh. But Riley's upstairs talking about how they must be scared of me, huh? Ain't nobody scared of you. You want them to be, but they're not scared of you. But Vince, he's up there telling Rylie that he thinks it's between Ashley, Mickey, or Rachel. Lauren pretty much states the same. Instead of it being Rachel, she says Morgan. Both of them are leaning towards Mickey. They are correct. They just don't know it. But Rylie then states to Morgan, whoever lied to his face is going to be his target. And, okay, that's the point of Big Brother, fool. They're going to lie to your face. But Rachel then says, like, what if it was America? Rachel is so funny. But Keanu comes in and states that we both know it's Ashley. Wrong. Which I thought was stupid. I'm like, Keanu, you was right there with Mickey, and you knew whenever she got it that she had it. Are you not putting two and two? Dummy. But Rylie is up there asking Ashley if she has any idea. And she's like, no, I don't. And she don't know. She don't. But she starts laughing, and I understand why. Like, I laugh when I'm uncomfortable too sometimes. But he's like, why do you think, or she's like, why do you think I know? And he's like, this isn't funny. He's stating this in his DR. This isn't funny at all. I don't know why you laughing, Ashley. You could be ruining my HOH chances. She's not playing for you. Like, duh. Like, and we're not on the same alliance. So if I'm doing anything to possibly fuck up your HOH, I'm going to do it. We don't work together. But she then brings up how somebody had told her that he's contemplating putting her, Mickey, and Morgan up. And he asked her, do you want safety? And she's like, obviously. Duh. And he ends up asking her to tell him who got the power. And she's like, I don't know. Like, damn, she don't know. Like, what you want to do? But Rylie then states that you don't think it's weird how somebody told you that, and now suddenly the power is being revealed. Okay. So if she don't have it, why don't you think about the other two options? Why don't you think about those two? I mean, if she's telling you she don't have it, Do what you got to do. Start interrogating. Like, he trying to force her and trying to scare her into saying something that is not true. But he then claims that he would never put her up. And I'm like, you're lying, because you literally stated that she's one of your potentials, but you get mad at them for lying. We're going to get to that later on. But you mad at them for lying to your face, but you just lied to her. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. But Ashley comes back downstairs. And Kelly's like, how did it go? And she says, I mean, good. Katherine and her hating racist ass. I do believe she's racist. Like, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Because what is your beef with Ashley? You got an issue. Like, you got some type of weird one-sided beef with her. But she asking Ashley if you're happy about turning his happy moment of his HOH into a bad day for him. Are you just uncomfortable? Is that why you're smiling? Bitch, why is that something that you worried about? Why are you never smiling? Why? That's what I'd have said to Ashley. Why are you never smiling? You always worried about what the fuck I'm doing. Why are you in my face? Why are you? Can I have my face made? And I'm glad Rachel, being the Rachel that I know her to be, confrontational. She, Ashley says essentially like, I'm just uncomfortable. And Rachel says, wow, Katherine. Katherine says she smiled the entire time he was about to cry. And what you gonna do about it? Rachel then says, like, is she not allowed to smile? Katherine says, I mean, do you have to speak for her? Rachel says, you want to talk to me like that? Oh, okay. And Katherine says she's a grown woman just as much as you are. And I asked her a question. Rachel says, well, you're coming at my friend because you don't like her smiling. Like, come on. And Katherine then says, like, I mean, I thought it was rude. I thought it was rude how you sit around talking shit about people unwarranted. I thought it was rude how you're a feminist, claim to be a feminist, and you sitting here talking shit about all these other women that are females. Is that not rude? Like, I'd have dug in a bag and literally I'd have lit Katherine up. But Rachel then states that you need to sit down. Katherine, I don't like Katherine, but she might have ate this one. She said, I am sad. I was like, Rachel. But Rachel says, well, maybe you need to be in timeout. But Katherine then says, I think it was rude. Rachel says she didn't do anything. So what was rude about that? Exactly. Like, exactly. But what else did she say? I'm trying to get, because they was going back and forth. Rachel then pulls Ashley to the back because Katherine stated that it came off rude. I'm like how you haven't been rude the entire time you've been there. But Rachel gets tired of her and says, Ashley, let's go. Let's get back here because we don't like bullies, Katherine. I said, exactly. Exactly. We then get Mickey upstairs, and she's pretty much up there with Rylie, and Rylie is not asking her any questions. And Mickey is smart. She's not going to sit there and kind of get him to ask her questions. He's doing all this talking about how it's Ashley, it's Ashley, it's Ashley. And Mickey's like, I'm going to sit here and be quiet. I'm going to say little to nothing because he's not asking me any questions. And at this point, it's good for me to not have him asking me any questions. So she gets up and leaves, and Zach goes in, throwing the scent off of Mickey, which I think that he says that he thinks that Mickey has it, but he prefers her being the HOH over Rylie because he feels like she would not put him up, and she wouldn't. But the interrogation has concluded. Rylie is so confident upstairs. It's Ashley. Okay. But Rylie comes back downstairs. He goes into the living room and tells them that his accusation is Ashley. She's smiling still. He asks the person with the power to stand up. Ashley's still sitting there smiling. And you see Katherine sitting there looking at her. Bitch. But Mickey stands up. And I start laughing. Katherine's talking about something. Knew it. You didn't. Because if you did, why didn't you go up there and tell your showmans? It's her. Because I'm sure he would have listened to you, but you didn't know that. But she then states that Mickey says, I'm sorry, Rylie. And he says, you lied to my face. And did you not lie to her face? Did you not lie to the other girl's face that you claimed that she was going to put up? Like, that's called Big Brother, fool. And then she then says, I didn't lie. And he says, well, I mean, I asked you. And she said, you didn't. We didn't see him ask her any questions. Like she said, he was the one talking. He was talking the whole time. Didn't ask her shit. But he states that she was scared. And Mickey was like, no, I'm not scared. And I wasn't scared. And he keeps talking and cussing at her. First of all, who are you talking to? Again. But they're sitting there stating, everybody's stating because he's getting aggressive, and they're like, it's a game. Like, chill. It's not that deep. But she's keeping her calm, as I'm glad she is. But he's sitting there talking about how, okay, I got you. But he then tells him that he will remain he tells the rest of the house he will remain dethroned because he guessed incorrectly. Mickey is the HOH for the week. She gets those keys. He says, let the games begin. Okay. Okay. But she says in her confessionals that she knows that he was coming for her. And he was. And she says, like, I did what I had to do to make sure that me and my girls were safe this week. I know I'm not going to be able to play in the HOH competition next week. So I need to make sure that this HOH is effective, which I haven't seen the feeds, y'all. So I've been paying attention to Twitter. I've seen some tweets. We'll see on Wednesday. I will really be able to truly pay attention to the feeds Thursday once I'm fully caught up. But I can pay attention to it now, actually. But I got a couple more recaps I got to do tomorrow. That's going to take my time off of the feeds, but I'm going to get to it. But Ashley's laughing about him guessing incorrectly, and Riley's pissed off. Be pissed. It's good to be pissed off instead of being pissed on. But that was the episode, y'all. Please thumbs up the video. If you haven't already, drop your comments down below. Do it down there. Share the video. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all on Wednesday. Peace.